This is Ultra Blue Energy coming at you. Anime. I want to talk about Dragon Ball Z characters. Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, Beerus, Frieza, Cell, Boo, Bulma, all of them. Thousands of hands being thrown a minute. The best light shows in anime history. Celestial bodies being decimated. Dragon Ball characters are unstoppable. The mightiest of the mighty. The best of the best. Dragon Ball characters are the most powerful characters in fiction. Or are they? I'm gonna tell you a realization I just had about Dragon Ball characters. Let's get this thing going. So a lot of people like to talk about how powerful Dragon Ball Z characters are. With the way these characters zip, teleport, soar, and fight, one would be inclined to believe them. I, for one, have been watching Dragon Ball for years. However, I recently made some discoveries from my joyous observations. Now, I want to get to my little discovery, but a few things first. I like to explain how a little something works. See, in fiction, there's this thing called the hero's journey, in which the meaning is the hero must improve his or own skills and get stronger to overcome the villain. Every story in history demonstrates this concept effectively. This is especially true when it comes to shonen anime. All of you know about Naruto and the skills and tricks that he learned in order to become the strongest ninja, like the Shadow Clone Jutsu and the Rasengan. This same concept is no different in the Dragon Ball franchise. However, Dragon Ball takes this concept to a literal level. In the Dragon Ball universe, they have an ever-running formula called Ki. Ki is described as latent power, a power that lies within every living thing in this universe. Everyone has Ki within them in this universe. The most well-known characters that can utilize this kind of power are Saiyans, Namekians, Frost Demons, Androids, Dragons, and Monsters. With Goku and Vegeta having the most potential, constantly working to overcome the next big measuring stick. However, with what I mentioned earlier, it's not outside the realm of possibility for any character to reach Goku's power level. Proof is the human characters that can also utilize Ki. Characters like Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, and Master Roshi are perfect examples of the possibilities. Even Chi-Chi, and I'm not joking either, shows that she in fact has deadly potential. Now, am I saying that Farmer with a shotgun could kick everybody square behind? Well, no. But also yes. Characters aren't able to achieve such levels of power such as the Saiyan because the heroes, the GODs, and most of the villains are prodigies. Hence why that they could use battle power to their advantage. Humans, with the exception of monks, are not prodigies. That was the no part. Here comes the spicy stuff. Dragon Ball characters have terrible showings of durability. Weirdly enough, when it comes to elements outside of Ki, it just colored me strange. Many of you can probably guess what I'm about to bring up before I even say anything. When it happened, Goku feeling hurt from getting struck in the head by a rock was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. The way he reeled in pain had me shaking my head. He act like he got hit on his head with an anvil. And that's not it. Everyone knows about Revival of F, the infamous moment that had raised many eyebrows. A mere laser gun incapacitated Son Goku. Man, that was stupid. And here's another instance where Goku got hurt by a bullet. This moment is stupid for two reasons. Because one, it suddenly makes sense why Dragon Ball characters grab bullets instead of tanking them. And second, literal kid Goku has shrugged off bullets before. So what even was this? Now, to be fair with many of you, this is a factor of insufficient Ki control. Usually a Dragon Ball character is vulnerable to attacks if said character is not focused. Otherwise, their Ki barrier will protect them from attacks. Therefore, many of these setbacks can be disregarded because of this fact. Good. Reputation saved. Except there's one more thing I didn't mention yet. And it has something to do with celestial bodies. You know, giant space objects, planets, stars, whole galaxies. The collateral damage every time one of these 4th of July ass characters want to show off their macho. Well, I just figured out that they can dish it out but can't take it. I want you to think hard about every time they destroy a planet. Remember when the Saiyans died? Remember when Frieza just took that big old death ball and just went Well, what bugs the crap out of me is when Saiyans thought a freaking meteor was a threat to planet Vegeta during the time they thought it wasn't Frieza. King Vegeta blew up multiple worlds at once, and I can assume that there were ranks of Saiyan elites and even the lower class that could do the same thing. I'm sorry, a giant meteor is a threat? Why would they think that? I mean, it brings up legitimate concerns because it's glaring that they do a lot of blowing up planets, but if they're caught in the crossfire, they don't tend to survive. And we don't necessarily get proof of this fact until the Frieza saga. Before this, proof was a little scarce. Also, I bring up Namek because characters that aren't frost demons can't breathe in space. Therefore, many people assume that's why they can't survive this kind of scenario. That's only partially getting at the truth here. There is at least several moments with planets that I can single out and denominate. The moments are King Vegeta's Crusade, the Saiyan Genocide, Vegeta finger blasting planets, Super Saiyan Goku on the final moments of Namek, Kid Buu's Carnage, Beerus on his first debut, and all of the cowardly moves Frieza did. Now let's break it down. In almost all of these moments, they are staying clear of the planets while they blow them up. Kid Buu showing a clear example of what happens if they didn't. They don't want to stay in the line of literal fire when a planet blows up. It's not just about oxygen. Super Saiyan Goku for one was sure of this fact, which is why he had to escape. In the same arc, Frieza also knew, which is why when he tried to weasel his way out of a fight, he held back because he actually still wanted to live.
I held back too much power.
So you couldn't do it. You couldn't go through with it after all, huh? I don't blame you. Destroying both of us to make sure that I don't win isn't any way to fight. It's just another way of giving up.
You still don't get it, do you? I didn't plan on destroying myself, just you and the planet. I can breathe in space and you can't. That means if the planet goes, then you won't have any more air to live on. And I shall be victorious.
Frieza did the same sniveling thing in Revival of F. He blew up the planet knowing he could just kill everyone right there and now, and flee without a second thought. This is also why Beerus and Whis fled, to save the remainder of the people and themselves. And it is implied that Vegeta died here. If he was still alive, what was stopping him from meeting up with the rest of the group? He's fast enough and can hold his breath long enough to at least find them within a minute. And this didn't catch him off guard either because he was right there as the whole planet was lighting up. Nobody really knows, but I can only assume the worst. So I guess R.I.P. Vegeta. Poor guy, always getting done dirty. But maybe it's just inconsistency and PIS in some areas. I'm not 100% on this, so of course there's room for a little debate. But yeah, that was my little discovery. Now look, just because I ragged on their durability doesn't mean they aren't powerful in their own right. When Ki is used by these characters, it is a very destructive force, and it's how these guys are powerful in their own ways. So I still wouldn't count out Goku and friends. Anyways, that's it for the video. You know what to do if you like what you see. This is UltraBlueENERGY, blasting off.